If you should ever leave me, the life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? Claude only knows what I'd be without you. Yeah. That's one of my favorite Beach Boy songs, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I don't really subscribe to that magazine, if you know what I mean. So that magazine being religion, I guess. Anyway, look at my new sunglasses. Just kidding. Except these are new. They were $5. Thank you very much. And then I got like the fun pair, and then I got, this is my practical pair. This is my practical pair. This is practical, right? I don't know, but they were like $9, so I got both. I really wanted heart-shaped sunglasses. They were red ones, but the pink ones made more sense for my clothing and stuff. So I think, maybe not actually, now that I think about it. I probably should have gotten red, but the hot pink are so cute, and they like, my boyfriend said that they remind him of the Powerpuff Girls, and like I definitely see it. It's like very like Cartoon Network-y kind of. I don't know. Do you see the vibe? If you see the Cartoon Network vibe from these, put a thumbs up. Hit that like. I don't know. I don't have anything in mind on what I'm talking about today. There are so many things that I have to do. I guess I have a little bit in mind. I have probably like 4 or 5 videos just kind of floating on my phone. I think I keep bumping this because it's right up to my bed. And I want to upload them, but one of them is like, there's kind of like an embarrassing like situation going on for the first like 8 to 9 minutes, and it's a long video, so I don't want to like redo the whole thing, so I'm wondering if I should just scrap it or just put it all out there, because that's like what I have been doing for the past year and a half, however long I've been doing this thing, is just kind of not editing and being my goofy, weird self and throwing it out there and hoping for the best. And not many people see it anyway, so it's like, who cares? And also I'm like trying so hard to worry less about what strangers think of me. And so why not, right? I should just like upload it. And then there's another one where I'm talking about work and life and issues and all of those things, and I start crying, and it's probably like a 20-minute something video, and I cry several times near the end. That one I've decided I am gonna upload, but like, I think I'm gonna post this one first. I'm not like super sad anymore. I was just like very in it in that moment. I had an argument with my mom, and it was a whole thing. We have since worked things out. We are great, but it was just like I was in my feelings, and I feel like sometimes it's good to share with others when you're in those moments, because you feel pretty alone in those moments, I've noticed. And I don't know. Some of the people that I follow are more on the, like, less of the entertainment side and more of the just like, hey, I am a human. Look at, this is me being a human. Do you feel more like a human? Because we're all really weird and messed up, and we cry, and we have, you know, depression or anxiety or OCD or whatever, anger issues, you know, everybody has their own things. Maybe it's addiction. Maybe it's low self-esteem. Maybe it is high self-esteem. Maybe you have too big of an ego. I haven't really had that issue ever. Let me know what that's like. But it is an issue, and it should be worked on. And, like, we should always be working on ourselves, I think. And this is also one of those, like, do as I say, not as I do, because I broke up with my therapist, like, over a month ago, 2 months ago now, probably. I was like, this isn't working out. She was like, I was just going to text you and say I need to get you off my case, because it wasn't clicking. And we had seen each other for, like, 6 months, probably. I don't know. She helped a little, and then it's like you have to start the search again, and then it's just like, okay, we're 6 minutes in. I showed the sunglasses. I feel like I have to, like, show some things whenever I'm filming now. Like, I have to, like, show something interesting rather than me just, like, talking to you. So I do have a couple other things that I got a while back from a group on Facebook that are just old Disney sheets. It's a Pocahontas, like, flannel one. And then this Seven Dwarfs one. They're, like, just, like, twin sheets, I think. They're so dope. Oops, that side is not the dope part. But they're, like, really cool. And, you know, I have all of these amazing ideas in my head, but, like, don't have the talent, ability, I guess just ability, the knowledge or ability to actually carry these ideas out. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that dwarf sheet would make such a cute little, like, dress or skirt or apron or top or something, and, like, sewing is not that hard, and I have a sewing machine in storage. But, like, I get so frustrated when it goes wrong the first few times that I don't try again, and then I'm like, but I have these ideas in my head, like, wouldn't it be so cute to make clothing items out of these sheets? I have all these ideas. I'm an ideas guy. What can I say? What else? I'm not going back to my job. I guess I can say it now since I'm not going back there. And I think anybody that had watched any of my videos where I mentioned it could probably tell that it was literally sucking the soul outside of me. And just, like, the thought of going back, the longer I waited to get better, for my ankle to get better, to go back, the worse. Like, I was just like, oh, it's not that bad. And then I'd be like, oh no. Like, any time I wasn't working, I was complaining about that place and the people and all of the things. So, I decided not to go back. And it's for multiple reasons, but I first decided I was going to go back. And then I hadn't heard from the manager there in a while. The other thing is, they'd changed managers like 8 times in the 6 months that I had worked there. Store managers. 8 times. That's not an exaggeration. So it was a Salvation Army, not a great company, known to, because they're Christian, known to support, you know, anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-queer legislation, and, you know, call themselves a nonprofit, but they're literally all about money and numbers and getting as many pieces of clothing as you can get out per hour and meeting the quotas of the day. And it is mind-numbing and makes it just hurt me. It hurt me inside being there. So I'm glad that I decided not to go back. But the reason I decided not to go back is because I couldn't really like stand for longer than like 30 minutes without my ankle and leg kind of getting pretty sore. So, like, you know, they're supposed to offer you accommodations for that, like a chair or whatever. They were also kind of like, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? Over a month ago when I still could barely walk. And I'm like, well, I could barely walk. And they're like, well, okay, but your extension was only till, you know, the beginning of May. It's like, you know, like, what do you... Jobs suck so much. Okay, where was I? Okay, so they said that I could come back, but when I left, I was pricing all of the clothing, and I was doing it well because I had like 10 years of experience pricing secondhand clothing for my own business online. So I know more than, you know, they made these lists of like the best brands and, you know, what to save, because we had to put all the best stuff aside to send it for e-commerce, which was online. So we couldn't even get any of the coolest stuff, which was also infuriating. Any of the cool vintage stuff or like any of the cool stuff. We had to set it all aside. So where was I going? Oh, I was pricing all the clothing. And it's like, it's a hard job that you like need kind of a lot of practice at. But because of my experience, I didn't need much practice at it. The only other people besides the pricer that can price are managers. So, I broke my leg, ankle, whatever, couldn't go back. The manager there was kind of like, you know, if you need physical therapy, whatever, you're an asset to us. Like, I need you, whatever, if you need a chair, whatever. He was planning on having me come back to price, obviously. And then he got fired. Not a big surprise because they go through managers like it's Taylor Swift's boyfriends. Hello, 2007. You want your joke back, don't ya? And so there's a new manager that I don't know, and she seemed kind of snippy and like less chill than the last manager, if that says anything. And they said that I had to be at the register, and people talking at me and me not being able to cut them off also makes me want to die. So I just figured for my mental health that it would be best not to go back and do that. So what we're going to try to do is sell all of this excess stuff that I have. I've done it in the past. I can do it again. I have let my Poshmark go to poop because I just haven't been having energy to focus on it when I had the job. And then now that I'm finally decided what to do, it's hard when you're like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And that's like my brain most of the time is just kind of like in like limbo of trying to like make decisions, but being like, well, this seems like a good decision because of this and this and this, but da 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 da, but this and then da 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 da, but da 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 da, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of what my brain feels like. But what I'm gonna probably have to start doing more videos of like actually trying to sell stuff and like make money, so like I don't have to get a different job. I have some savings, but like when I run out oh shit. So yes, I guess I'm gonna document that. And I don't know guys, I don't know. I've been watching some movies, not a ton, just because of like being overwhelmed with what I'm doing with life. That's kind of what that video was where I was crying. It was just kind of like, what am I doing? What have I been doing my whole life? What is life? What is the meaning? Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just looking at this guy. Okay. This is a little, look at him. Isn't he cute? I got him at a flea market probably like 5 or 6 years ago in Lansing. Still has the tag on it. $5 firm, Avon. From 82 Universal City Studios. So I love him. He's in front of our TV usually, but I brought him over here to share. And I have a couple other little odds and ends that I've thrifted over the years that I will share. And my hair is coming out. Oh, one last thing is this shirt. It's not vintage, unfortunately, but it's cool. I got this from work when I worked there, but the cool thing about it is I'm like super close, like walking distance close to this place, and can really go anytime, and like hopefully don't have to talk to people like the workers when I'm there. It's not that I hate people, it just like hurts. After I've had conversations and had people talk at me all day, I go home and I'm just like melted into a mannequin. So hopefully that won't happen much anymore. Maybe not as often. And I hope you're doing well, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever this is, wherever, whenever, however, ever. Sorry. Okay, be kind and rewind.